I'm going to take my penis out and use it as a weapon. Yeah. All right, let's see. I got lots of thoughts for today. One is I was thinking about the Flying Nun earlier today, talking to Dr. Drew about it. It was a primetime network show where Sally Fields played a nun.
This is different from Gidget, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was she both of them?
Yes, she was.
So this is the Flying Nun. I get those confused.
Yeah, she was Gidget, and then she was the Flying Nun.
Okay.
You don't start as the Flying Nun, Gina.
Understood.
You work your way as an actress into a nun who can fly.
And this is not figurative. She's a flying nun.
Yeah, like the Flying Dutchman may not actually fly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just a ship.
Right.
Like a ghost ship or something.
Right.
But the Flying Nun
could
up
take
in the
sky.
Yeah, there's certain things they put flying in front of, like certain hockey players, and then there's actually planes that they put the flying in front of that fly. So it's a little, I understand why you're asking the question.
Thank you.
She was a nun who flew. Because as a nun, you can only get so much done on the ground, you know?
You have to go airborne.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the advantages of flying if you're a nun. First off, that's the weirdest pitch in the world because, Superman can fly, but it serves him.
Was this mid-Coke, pre-AIDS? This feels like mid-Coke.
This is pre-Coke, pre-AIDS.
Yeah, 67 to 70.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this was way too many martinis at lunch.
This is a fuck you to the viewing public.
I think these are more drunken decisions versus coked up decisions. Yeah. This is, back when you'd go to meet a guy in his office at noon, he'd just pour you a highball. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Scotch? Yeah,
it is noon.
Yeah,
you don't purpose globe.
Yeah, I do have to drive home in a car with no airbag, so I might as well guzzle some scotch at the office, But, they all had the bar in the office.
Right.
So this thing was probably greenlit, was probably more fueled by booze. Probably the guy was pitching it was sober, but the guy who was pitching it to was drunk and thought it was a joke. Didn't know, probably didn't remember greenlighting the Flying Nun.
Right.
But again,
they signed the paperwork after many glasses of scotch.
As a nun, there's just so much more you can get done.
Oh yeah,
think of what Mother Teresa could have done.
8,000 feet.
This didn't offend Catholics.
I didn't have my finger on the pulse of the Catholic community.
You're a Catholic
when
big
I
brother.
Was sick.
That's right.
And I still wasn't
Ask
a
the
Catholic.
kid.
I still never went to church, and my family's pagan. So, but
heathens.
The thing I was focusing on the Flying Nun, which was much like when I would always say that Superman would have to strain when he was moving a planet in the air or stopping a locomotive or something.
Bringing a frozen lake to a fire.
Right. I was just like, well, you do have the power to stop a speeding locomotive, but why are you why are you grimacing? Right. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I really got to dig deep. Like you're doing a squat lift or something.
Sure.
The Flying Nun had a certain amount of realism in it.
Do tell.
Well,
go on.
When she took off, she had to hang on to the habit.
Okay.
She was from an order of nuns that didn't have habits as we knew them. They had sort of canards.
Like aerodynamic looking.
The shit you see on the front of an F1 car to create downforce,
right.
And then the front of a private jet or military jet to create some of them lift. Her order of nuns had habits that were starched, and they were like canards.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Kinda.
And so she had to hang on.
Wings.
When the wind, but when it was time for, we could just watch her, she'll levitate, she'll go into the air. But the point I'm making is more about realism. So first, we'll play the clip. She goes into the air.
Prepare for takeoff.
And, the other nuns knew how important it was. So she hangs on to the habit to go into the air.
Yeah.
All right, we got it. Now, but later on, once she got airborne and she was flying, hands spread out. No more hanging on to
You'd
the
think
habit.
you were up in the jet stream that had come off
Right.
at the time.
Now she's just sailing at 60 knots.
Quite a rapid pace.
Yeah.
And for me, now it's time to really hang on to the habit because you're going to eat shit if that habit blows off. But now she flies. So what I'm saying is they wanted this air, pardon the pun, of realism. Like she would hang on to it because you were watching at home going, well, how's the nun going to fly if her habit flies off?
Right.
Once she got airborne, she was sailing, man, hands out to the side. I also like the conceit that while we all know people can't fly, once we establish they do fly, you could never fly with your hands in your pockets.
Oh, no.
You got to get them
Arms
out.
out.
That would look majestic.
You got to get some lift
Right.
from those biceps
Right.
or
Yeah,
whatever you're putting
stabilize.
out. Yeah, stabilize. So she would do that.
I'm sorry, I still have some more questions. So the hat is what makes her
Yeah, I
fly?
was about to say she
And
could derive her power
do
from her hat.
other nuns fly with their hats?
No.
Do we know her origin story
There's
of
not
how
enough
she...
starch to create the lift in the habit for the others. She put extra starch in her habit.
Okay, so she can only fly with the hat.
Yes.
And do we know how she discovered this power?
I did take some time and watch the 2-minute origin story.
good.
You kids think those are 10 minutes old. Flying Nun had an origin story.
Dude, the Bible's an origin story.
It was unclear why she was vested with this power, but she could do it where the others couldn't. And she's always trying to raise money for the orphanage on some
That's noble.
Yeah. She wasn't flying so she could shit on the windshields of atheists.
What was the?
Although
what
that would have been part
was
of my
something.
thing.
What was the conflict? Was someone after the hat or after her powers?
Yeah, was there an antagonist of any kind?
No, nobody wanted. I don't know why the military wasn't looking into this habit.
This is a real habit.
But no,
a real advantage.
they showed little to no interest.
And so did the rest of society. It was like, oh, there she is.
People were generally unimpressed.
Wow.
Which, again, it's vexing to me, even as a lad, when I watch this.
So was she like Iron Man, where her powers are known to the world, or like Spider-Man, where the identity is secret?
Nerd.
Well, she lived on some parish, some island, some thing where there was a nunnery. It was like San Pablo or something, or maybe that's where the Partridge Family lived, or that they made up a place for her to live where there was poor people that they could take care of.
Oh, a leper colony.
Yeah, but nobody seemed interested, unlike Iron Man.
Right.
Sure. He's a celebrity because of his powers.
And warring nations wanted one of these suits as well, so they could put their soldiers in them. No, she did not. She flew under the radar.
Oh, I see.
Literally just skimmed the ground.
Was she an orphan? She's like the kid of the group?
She was one of the younger, nuns.
Like, how do you solve a problem like Maria?
Their demo is older.
Right.
Yeah, that was her. And she was... there was an Elvis movie where Mary Tyler Moore played a nun, too, I think.
What?
We should look into at some point. But either way... She flew. The main point, I had two main points. One is she hung onto the hat to take off.
Yeah.
I'm saying, look, once we've established that we have a flying nun, all reality's out the window. Let's not fuzzy it up with little glimpses of, wait a minute, when her hat come off? And then once she got airborne and up to speed,
Then she's good.
no more hand holding of the habit. That was number one. My number 2 point was from watching The Love Boat. They're doing the Christmas episodes.
Oh. Sure.
And in the Christmas episode, the priest has to come on, and he's got the orphaned kids.
Okay.
And then later on, the nuns come on, another episode, Christmas, and they got the orphaned kids.
Was that a common practice for clergy to come on a cruise with orphan children?
It would be frowned upon now.
Yeah, especially Dick Sargent, who was playing the priest, who was from Bewitched. Wow, now we're really taking a deep dive into bizarre TV shows. But it struck me that the priest outfit, and Gina, you should be outraged by this as a feminist. The priest outfit is really just a black suit. The only commitment's the collar.
Right.
guys wore suits to leave the house back
Right.
then, went to work in suits. You know,
You don't look that different.
Wasn't a tough putt to be a priest from an outfit standpoint.
Right.
The nuns, the frocks and the layers
Yes,
and the
the
habits
pinafores and
and
the
the things.
petticoats.
That was a big fucking commitment to
That's
be
a
a nun.
whole to do.
Priest, first off, all you do is pop the collar off
Yeah.
if you see one of your gals from high school and you don't want her to know or something.
Yeah.
She just thinks you're dapper.
Right. Swinging single.
None. You can't get away from that.
You're absolutely right.
What women had to do to be a nun, they've covered everything. Sometimes they just wear that hood over their head with just their face poking out.
No hair. Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
You're right.
And a big commitment. It was warm.
Oh,
You could be spotted from a mile away. It's a lot of work to be a nun.
I think it's probably still is.
It is, and it just struck
Too
me
much,
that
some
we
would
were
say.
like, hey, ladies, cover up
That's
and put all
exactly
this
right.
garb and all
Yes.
this shit on. And
Yes.
By the way, there's no priest hat. They never had to wear any kind of hat. They just show up.
It's true.
Just the collar differentiate them from the people.
The average civilian.
Just doesn't seem balanced.
And
to me.
he's a father. She's a sister.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just a
Good
sister.
point. Yeah, she's
got
being
seniority.
subjugated.
Yeah. By the way, the Flying Nun apparently took place in Puerto Rico at Santanco Convent. So do with that what you will. And you know who apparently one of the nuns was? The Puerto Rican nun? Sister Sisto or whatever?
Rita Moreno.
No. She's been in everything. But Rosie from Will and Grace. So you've seen in everything. She's always the Latina maid.
Yes.
She's been in everything.
Yes. All right. So now we've covered the Flying Nun.
Good.
Let's see. I had, let's see, what did I write down here? There was somebody tweeted me something that I thought was interesting, although I never took this deep a dive in it, but we were talking about Fonzie's motorcycle selling and $231,500, I think. And, then we bought by Richard Rawlings, who's a car guy who I know. So we'll talk to him in tomorrow's show. I think Max Zapata, right, about that. And there's a whole interesting story about why he bought the bike. But somebody tweeted me that Happy Days took place in Milwaukee. And I think Milwaukee was the home of Harley Davidson.
Really?
And it was sacrilegious, sticking to the theme of today's show, to have him pull up in a Triumph.
Oh,
Makes
interesting.
sense.
It's an English bike.
Yeah.
And why is Fonzie, arguably one of the greatest Americans to ever live,
Yeah.
why is he riding an English bike when he should be on a Harley? Because they're in Wisconsin, and that's where Harleys were manufactured.
Good question.
And that's the bike. He should be on an American bike.
Could it have been because they were already scared of the motorcycle because that was too edgy? Harleys were way more mean and powerful than like a
Those
little
are the Hells
Triumph.
Angels.
Yeah.
I'd say more it's because they shot it in Burbank and no
Okay.
one gave a fuck.
Yeah, that I
Gary
buy.
Marshall
Right.
was
There was
like,
no
I
expert
don't
on
know,
set.
fucking motorcycles. Who gives a shit? Go find a motorcycle and bring it here. I think
Yeah, that Occam's razor.
probably less thought went into many, many things we've given a lot of thought to. All right. Speaking of vehicles, I was watching television the other day and a Vroom commercial came on. And it was a commercial. They're one of these car websites that brings the car to you. They have like car vending machines now,
The
essentially.
Carvana. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Vroom is one of those.
Okay.
And each time they do those commercials, they do that thing where they go, you don't want to have to deal with the dealership. But there should be a class action lawsuit by the dealerships. Like there's got to be some sanctioning body or something. There's got to be like the American Car Dealerships Association, because there's toothless people and people with like a patch over their glasses, prescription glasses, like laughing at people
Big
and yelling,
plaid coats.
sign the contract. They all look like extras from Waterworld.
Yeah.
And they're standing
The
in these
smokers.
haunted dealerships, like laughing at everyone. I'm like, I've been down to the Honda dealership in
Very
El
nice
Monte.
people.
I didn't have that.
I wouldn't bring it up if I wasn't at a dealership. Last night, Ontario.
You were at a
I
dealership
I
last
drove to Ontario to re-up my lease, or get a new lease, I should say. But yes, they used to deliver the cars. They don't do that anymore. However, to your point, dealerships are very nice. At least the ones that I go into,
Yeah.
they're like state of the art. The dude who, like, you got to finance right afterwards for the lease or the whatever. They send you to finance. That takes 45 minutes of signing papers. This dude had close your eyes and picture one of those Pac-Man video games you sat down at, like a table.
Oh, like at Pizza Hut.
The whole thing with the table was like
Yes.
set up as like a tablet.
Yes.
And you could just sign your documents. He'd sign, he'd flip it around. Virtually you'd sign, move it along.
They didn't have
it was
the-
high tech.
Gypsy lady, and the guy with the patch on his eye laughing the whole time.
The guy with the cigar laughing until you just keep putting more money in his hand.
Yes.
Unless I'm a VIP and I don't know it. I just encountered what everyone else encounters, and it was a very nice experience.
Same thing at Subaru.
Sensitive question, Brian.
Yeah, buddy.
The guy at the dealership, you're going, look, I'm going to sign up for another 3 years on this lease. Was he like, how's the cancer going? Because we have 18-month leases,
Real
right? 2-year
presumptuous.
leases.
Actually, it's the best possible
Get you
scenario,
a
me
better deal
succumbing
with a
to
2-year
cancer,
lease.
because I'm on the hook for 3 years, one way or the other. Me or Christy or Tessa's paying for it. If I don't drive for those last 2 years, that's no mileage on the car. So
true.
I think they're hoping for a scare.
So this one was, again, the portrayal of the car dealership. And by the way, I'm kind of with you maybe on the 70s car dealership, old boys club
Right.
or whatever. But the new car dealerships, a lot of women working, a lot of tile.
play areas.
Kids. It's
I've seen
clean.
that.
Yep.
It's nice, but
Why don't you come back with your husband or your father?
room is not. This is it's an interesting commercial. It's a weird commercial to do in 2022 almost, but it's a woman and she's alone and she walks into a car dealership and she'd like to get an SUV with a V8. So we'll watch it.
Excuse me, I'm looking
Fat
for
guy
a
walking
low-mileage
by,
SUV
works at the dealer.
with a V8.
Pays no attention. Bunch of men not
on the
paying
desk.
attention.
Thought they were supposed to swarm her and take advantage.
Do you have any V8 SUVs, bro?
Bro, I've got a sick SUV back here.
Now she
Oh,
brought
I've
out
seen these.
she
Never
brought out
ignored
a
at a dealership
puppet.
again.
V8.
That's a helpful black woman
Buy your
who
car
understands
entirely
V8s.
online.
Now, she could get no help at the dealership because she wanted to buy a $51,000 SUV, but she pulled out a puppet, a ventriloquist
Yeah.
puppet who was a dude.
Yeah.
And that
she-
got their attention.
She duded it up. And all that guy, the same guy walked right past her and didn't pay any attention. And all the guys who weren't paying attention, they
Yep.
popped up in their seats. Now there's just a
Interesting.
man with a checkbook.
I've never seen this commercial. I didn't know what it was going to be about. And when I said, why don't you come back with your dad or your brother, I thought that couldn't possibly be the bit. That was the bit.
That's the bit in 2000 and almost 22, everybody.
I don't find that to ring very true.
Well, yeah, imagine going
As a
to the
woman-
fucking car dealership with Christy. The guys come up
Oh,
and they
Jesus.
look at me like, we help you, sir? We're looking for her last car. And like, we help you find anything? And she just takes over. She worked for Lexus, she worked for Jaguar.
Yeah.
She knows
She
she knows more
stats.
than these guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's just like, out of the way, Baldy, and let me take over.
These guys, but more than these guys.
Yeah, that's
This
what I'm
is
saying.
listen, here's every interaction. I haven't been to a car dealer in a while, but on rare occasion when I would, I'd be like, what's the, so you got the 4-banger versus the V6. What's the difference in horsepower? What's the 4-banger? Oh, it's peppy. Yeah, right. But what kind of horsepower is
Oh,
it?
buddy, you're going to notice it.
It's peppy.
Yeah.
More than, well, what about the V6? Oh, yeah,
Buddy.
that gets up and
You
that
stick your
moves.
foot on that gas
Yeah.
and
You know
it.
hey,
Yeah.
giddy up.
How much horsepower? More than you need, brother. that thing. Then there's like,
Welcome to Vagwagon.
I'm good. I should just walk in with a list of stuff I want to know, and without any conversation, just hand it to the person and go, just go in the back and check all these
Yep.
things. Because you go, how big's the fuel tank? And they go, Let me check on that. I was just like walking.
Yep.
Just remember 18 gallons?
Yeah.
It's a $74,000 purchase.
If it's 18 and a half, I'll let it go at 18.
Yeah.
I'm not going to press you on
Waiters
it.
come in every night and have to relearn a menu.
Yeah.
You can do
every
this.
time. Yeah. So it's weird that we have, it's kind of this interesting thing. It's sexism, racism is that way. It's like, yes, there were these things at some point in our society, but we've done a pretty goddamn good job at getting rid of those things. Look no further than the car dealership, because that's a meritocracy.
Yes.
More women are college educated or in college now than men. More women earn as much as men. Many households where the women are the primary, whatever. Car dealerships have figured out we need to sell some cars to ladies.
Yes.
Subarus are made with love.
And how?
We've turned the corner on this one, Vroom.
The disinterested salesman was the silliest of all, because like, have you ever been to one of those showrooms? They'll descend upon you.
Yeah, they hop to it. And as someone who went alone to the Subaru dealership this year to buy a car, I had no problems. $200,000 is a good price for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had
strip.
no problems.
Yeah,
it's
a
great.
strip Forester.
Yeah.
No radio or
No,
heat
no.
and seat.
backup
Not
camera.
Sim. What am I, Rockefeller?
I was saying to somebody, God, Eric Stone Street. You guys tell me what you think of this analogy. For Modern Family, working on questions for the book I'm trying to put to bed with Lynch. He said, he asked a question. Anyway, I said, a home improvement question. I said, do radiant flooring in the bathroom. Get out of that bathroom, have the feet hit the warm tile.
Oh, yeah.
It's wonderful. I don't have it, but I've heard it's amazing. And then I thought this, and then I said, but don't bother with the heated towel bar.
Rack, yeah.
They do a bar, they'll heat it. I don't know, feel like that's gilding the lily a little. And I said, it's basically the equivalent to heat in the car seats, glorious. Heat on the steering wheel, that makes us just kind of an ugly American.
Yeah.
I got that for the first time in this new car.
I have it in my car. I don't know how to turn it on.
I didn't order it, but it's part of the package.
Yeah, I feel like a leather wrapped and the heating duct is blowing on my hands from the dash. I'll make it.
If anything, you would want an air-conditioned steering wheel. Whoever gets in the car is like, "Ooh, my wheel's too cold," but
Yeah,
it
no,
can't
the
be piping
air-conditioned
hot.
one, you're right.
Yeah.
I like Betty Boop.
It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
That's from the ride.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that
well,
is?
let's see. Let's
play
play
it
'em.
against
Let's compare
Eric's.
it.
It's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
See?
It does sound similar.
All right. Are we going to talk to Jason Gannon?
Yeah, he should be coming on any second now.
Jason Gannon is the executive director of the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
Wow.
Official name.
Being
really come
played
a long way.
at SoFi Stadium, everybody. So that's coming up this Saturday. I have no idea. It's on ABC, so that makes a certain amount of sense.
And that's not just what we're calling it. That's what it's called.
Yes, that's what it's called, which is awesome. Let's see. I'm trying to think of who's playing whom.
Oh, do we know?
In this?
It's on the sheet.
It's
there.
somewhere.
Oregon
sorry,
State
it's
versus
Utah.
Utah State.
Oregon State versus Utah State. I will highlight this. We'll talk to him about that in a moment. First, speaking of, well, I'll get to that in a second. Somebody was texting me, and I think, not texting me, someone was tweeting me, and they were talking about doing a Tool Tunes Christmas version
that was
of that.
Great. They called it Yule Tunes.
Yeah, which I think we should get together. But I did hear after dropping Natalia off in a rainstorm this morning at her school, little played, but one of my least favorite Christmas songs, which is Eurythmics, Winter Wonderland.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Tell me if you can tell what year this is from.
Over the ground lies a mantle of white, a heaven of diamonds shine down through the night. Two hearts are thrilling in spite of the chill in the weather.
Was Winter Wonderland broken, as you would say?
No.
Oh my God.
Love knows no season, love knows no clime. Romance can blossom any old time. Here in the open, we're walking and hoping together.
Terrifying.
Here's the upsetting, well, the really
Wait till it
upsetting part.
starts. There's no place for the Sinsonic drum kit around the holidays.
No. Remember you'd gather around the hearth, the burning fireplace, and Grandpa would bring out his Moog?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Kraftwerk would come out in their jumpsuits.
Syncopate some beats.
As a giant Annie Lennox fan, this is an abomination.
It's just, we must outlaw every Christmas song that was done in the 80s.
Yeah.
We can't have any more 80s songs. We can do 70s and we'll hop to the Mariah Carey.
No, you're right. The song that gets a lot of play at our house because the 6-year-old likes it, and he only plays it because he knows I hate it, is fucking Paul McCartney's Simply Having and he does it to torture me. That's the worst Christmas song of all time.
You know, it's funny. I said to Chris, right before I gave him this, I was like, what year was that, Paul? Because I said, it feels 80s, but it was 79. But it was
Really?
right at the end.
Wow.
The upsetting?
All right.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. Jason Gannon is ready. We'll talk about this bowl. I know what I'm going to talk to. I'm going to hit Jason right after the break. I'm going to first tell everyone about Tommy John. Wish your friends and family a very softness and a merry softness, I should say, and a happy new year with the new comfy underwear and the loungewear from Tommy John. Man, this stuff is great. The pajamas, the loungewear. It's cold outside. It's beautiful. You can lounge around in it. Over 17 million pairs sold, giving the gift of Tommy John has become a holiday tradition for many families across the country. Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics. I'm wearing mine right now. I would never dream of leaving the house without these things on. And if you're active, you jog, you cycle, you row, whatever it is, you got to put on your Tommy Johns. Returns and exchanges are free. It's all backed by the best pair you'll ever wear. Or it's free, guarantee, right, Dawson?
Get $25 off site-wide plus free shipping right now at TommyJohn.com/Adam. That's TommyJohn.com/Adam for $25 off site-wide plus free shipping. Order your gifts now to arrive before the holidays. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
All right, quick break. Back with the man behind the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, Jason Gannon, right after this.
Vogue game.
Nice.
We got to update that.
That did make a comeback at some point.
Yeah, we'll play it.
Jason Gannon has joined us, executive director of the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, which is happening this Saturday. SoFiStadium.com/LA Bowl. We got Oregon State and Utah State. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
How did this come about? How do you get your job? What?
I ask myself that every day. I don't know. It's there's a lot going on. You know, I was fortunate enough to be a part of just the development of SoFi Stadium and running the facility itself. And whenever we thought about two great NFL teams now that are playing really well, we thought about activating around a bowl game and having a partnership with college football, and then the LA Bowl kind of naturally followed.
So you're sort of in charge of SoFi Stadium. How does it work if you're like a band and you go, I'd like to do a concert here, or
a podcast?
Yeah. So there's like, I think the K-pop band just sold the place out, whatever. That's incredible. A no-brainer. Yeah, right. Then there's some no-brainer bands, but then there's ones that are more, maybe be more comfortable at the Forum up the street. You know what I mean? Like we see you selling 15,000, 18,000 seats.
You're going to go Pretty Woman on them?
Yeah, not 72 2,000 seats. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does one figure that one out? Do they come to you? Does their management come to you?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Live events. I mean, generally you have these acts that tour from city to city. So I think a lot of it is who's on tour any given summer or throughout the year, and then you kind of look at that. I mean, generally there could be 5, 6, 7 various acts that are touring, and they go from city to city, and that's kind of who you generally start with. I mean, now sometimes you're in Los Angeles, and you can have one-off opportunities, which we love to do. BTS, who they were just here 4 nights. That was kind of their 4 nights for the year. And so I think Los Angeles is special in that regard. But generally speaking, it's kind of whoever is on tour any given year.
I was thinking about my life, and I realized we've went from BTO, one of the greatest rock bands ever, to BTS. And we went from Thin Lizzy to Fat Lizzo. Yeah. It's not a good time for me, sonically. And now we got this Eurythmics song dropping.
Endless disappointments.
First those bands, now this.
Now this. To what end is what I have to say. So how many events will you guys do at SoFi? I mean, is the plan to keep the calendar full, to keep, busy, keep the revenue and all that? Like, how many events are you guys planning a year over there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously driving footfall to Hollywood Park, our overall development is about 300 acres, as you said, just adjacent to the Forum. We have the 70,000 seat SoFi Stadium. We have 2 NFL teams that bring 20 events to SoFi Stadium, but you include the concerts, anywhere from another 10 to 15 to 20 concerts and corporate events and conventions opportunity. Obviously having a roof canopy gives us some opportunity to do some other things in terms of corporate outings as well. So we obviously try to keep the building really full. And then I think the other thing that, is just telling the story about YouTube Theater, which is a smaller 6,000 seat theater just adjacent to SoFi Stadium that, partnering with Live Nation to bring content there throughout the year as well. So obviously you have the big events in SoFi, but there's a lot more going on at Hollywood Park just adjacent with YouTube Theater.
What's the minimum turnaround time? Like, let's say Sunday is game day, you got a game on Sunday, 1 p.m. game. What's the latest you could have a big concert there? Thursday, Friday? What would your...
Yeah, I mean, listen, Thursday is probably the latest. I mean, we have an incredible team, right? I mean, they would probably not say no to a whole lot. Going from a concert on Saturday to a game on Sunday would be a tough ask. But, I'll just give you an example. We had, the Chargers played this last weekend against the Giants. We'll have a turnaround with the Chargers playing the Chiefs on Thursday. We'll have the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stiefel on Saturday, and then the Rams are playing the Seahawks on Sunday. So really a busy week for us. So 4 events in just a 7-day period. Obviously all football, so that helps out. But it's generally a 2 or 3 day loadout period for these larger concerts.
Oh, I guess we just passed some new mask mandates. So I was there watching the Rams get dismantled by the Cardinals several weeks ago. Thankfully, they made a comeback last night.
Yeah.
But there weren't, I think you had to wear a mask when you walked in kind of thing, but we didn't have the new mask. Is that a new mask, man? So is it indoors? I mean, can you open the roof and go, we want an outdoor designation?
And how does the lightning factor in?
Right. So how would that work? Like, is it considered an outdoor or indoor stadium vis-a-vis a mask mandate?
So we're considered an outdoor venue. SoFi has open air on the sides. So to your point about lightning, we have had, to work through a lightning delay earlier in the year because it's classified as an outdoor venue. The one thing here in LA County is, generally there's indoor venues and outdoor venues, but also there's an attendance threshold. So even outdoor venues over a certain attendance threshold have a mask mandate included in them, even though they're outside.
All right. Which doesn't take place at any college football stadium in America. But it's important that LA be ahead of the retarded game. Yes.
I don't know if we know yet, but how is SoFi Stadium going to factor into the Olympics?
I think there's some really exciting opportunities with the Olympics. Certainly the opening and closing ceremonies at SoFi Stadium. I think you look at just the number of events that go on and activity-wise. I think outside of those opening closing ceremonies, we haven't identified the exact events that'll go on at SoFi Stadium in Hollywood Park. But I know you look at between our venues and the various venues between the theater, then you have the Forum just north and then the new Clippers facility just south. I think there's a tremendous amount of Olympic event opportunities right here in Inglewood.
So how did the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl come about?
Listen, I think, Jimmy's had a college football fan and have that background in sports. And I think there was a mutual interest. I mean, for us, Adam, I think you look at Los Angeles, right? I mean, the LA Bowl, this is our inaugural year, and really trying to do something different in terms of college football. We looked at Los Angeles. It's unique in a lot of different ways, but certainly the entertainment was something that we could offer that no other bowl experience could offer. And so we looked out and said, how can we partner with, somebody in the entertainment industry that is a college football fan and really wants to be a part of something really, truly special and unique at SoFi Stadium. And I think there was some kind of interest that overlapped in the marketplace in terms of the feelers, and it was quickly we were able to connect the two.
Speaking of Jimmy being a college football fan, I went to the Rose Bowl with him. I would say 1996. Could have been 95. I'm looking at you, Chris, because I'm thinking.
Was USC playing?
I don't think USC was playing. And I think for some reason Arizona. I wonder if Jake the Snake Plummer was playing quarterback in that game.
That would have been Arizona State.
Right. Yeah. And it may have been about that time. Anyway, Jimmy may love college football, but he has no sense of direction. He is just one of those people that he doesn't know which.
Oh, the parking.
We went to the Rose Bowl during the day. It turned to night, and it started raining. And the Rose Bowl, they don't have, like the zoo, you park at the zoo, and you go, I parked in the giraffe section. Like I know where I'm at.
Right.
Rose Bowl just has a golf course. Yep. You park where you want. And
a balloon every mile.
Yeah.
So I think number one was kind of close to us.
Yeah. Jake the Snake played in the Rose Bowl in 97. So all right, must have been 97. And it took us 2.5 hours to find his car. After we just were walking different directions. Also, the Rose Bowl screws you up because you enter on one side and then you circumnavigate the place twice, and then you find your seats, but you have no origin story. You don't know where you entered.
You can't retrace your steps.
And you entered at the one that was closest to where your car was, but you've long since forgotten about that as you've walked in a circle. I got to be honest. I think we could up our food game a little at SoFi. I'm not here to rain on the parade, but I think there's a way to. I don't know if you know anyone at concessions, but I feel like we could step it up just a little bit. Thoughts?
Listen. We're always taking feedback from our guests, and we have a pretty deep dive that we're working through on that, and we're certainly going to be responsive and continue to improve. We do have a sense of awareness, so and we always appreciate that feedback. And as you can probably imagine, it's hard to pivot on a moment's notice, but we're working hard to make sure that we're going to improve it and get where we need to be.
I don't know if there's any In-N-Out Burger Association, but I think there should be. Because I feel like so many people come here from, they're Steelers fans, and the Rams are playing the Steelers, and they come out, they made the pilgrimage to watch the game.
It's the first thing they do when they get off the plane.
It makes sense to get in and out in that stadium. Now, I'm trying to think, I don't know. I'm thinking, you see like Jody Maroney sausage in Dodger Stadium stuff, which is all fine, but where's the in and out? Is in and out in any stadium? There must have been a conversation at some point.
So, it's interesting that you say that. Certainly Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl presented by Stiefel this weekend, and In-N-Out will have a presence in and around the facility this weekend.
Oh, they will?
Wow.
There
you go.
I like that they have a presence.
It's a little tease, yeah. You asked and we respond here. Anything else we can do?
There should be a pink stand, all the iconic places.
Yeah. I wanted to, I often thought of, I had this idea 15 years ago, which was a food court, and it was called Home Court Advantage. And it was all the food, you'd have the Permanentes, all the because
the regional stuff.
Yeah, everyone in LA is going to go, oh, In-N-Out Bar, oh, you're not trying a White Castle, or whatever it was, Chicago or the Permanentes or whatever, the local, whatever, just one big row of all the locals from around the country in one place. You could and settle the argument.
Yep.
It's very Vegas.
Because they always go like, oh, I tried your Gino's East pizza. They go, that was flash frozen and shipped. Come on. We put that in the microwave. That doesn't count.
You're 100% right. I remember, you'll see those maps, right? And every state has a different, favorite candy on it or favorite whatever. And it was favorite fast food. And, I saw a couple that were Culver's. I'm like, what the fuck? I tweeted, what's Culver's? And you should have seen the locals, dude, Culver's rules. I'm like, we need one in L.A.
I agree. So kickoff is 4:30. Am I looking at this, or let's see if I got this right?
4:30 on ABC.
How?
Right, 4:30 Pacific.
And another question. I think we heard. Congratulations! We got the Super Bowl coming, right?
Yeah.
With some high ticket suites.
First time the Super Bowl's been to LA in almost 30 years.
I haven't checked the power rankings, but there's a decent, the way San Diego's playing, or formerly San Diego Bolts, and the way the Rams are playing as of late, there's a good chance that one of them would be representing.
Not another question at all.
No, I mean that's got to. Now they couldn't play. They couldn't play each other, right?
Of course they could. NFC, AFC.
Oh, that's right. For some reason, I thought because they're here together, they couldn't. But oh wow! So boy, could you imagine?
That'd be great.
That would be.
And two exciting teams too.
Are you allowed to declare which team you're rooting harder for?
I mean, listen, we want home playoff games at SoFi Stadium, and we want two Los Angeles teams at SoFi for the Super Bowl. I mean, you look at it. I mean, I know it's such a special event, and to be able to bring that back to Los Angeles, the impact locally to the community is so significant. And also, if you look at it, just in terms of the event itself and what it means. And so we're excited, and obviously to have two great football teams. Always fun to get two wins in a week. So that possibility is real.
So the answer is no.
Yeah, I heard Chargers, actually.
Can I just ask real quick? We talked in the news a little bit about how the suites are going for record amounts. I don't know if there's anything fun to speak to about that people don't even know who's going to be in the Super Bowl and they want their suites.
Well, I think it speaks. I mean, first of all, I defer to the NFL in terms of how that process is going. But I think if you look at the building itself, I mean, SoFi Stadium is over 3.1 million square feet. It's the largest venue in the NFL. The amount of suite opportunities throughout the building, I mean, it's incredibly unique. I mean, Los Angeles, has that indoor-outdoor feel and the premium feel that really was Stan Kroenke's vision, is to build this world-class, sports entertainment destination. And obviously, it begins to show through in terms of the pricing and some of the areas, but also having affordable pricing for fans, for Rams fans and Charger fans as well. So I think the building itself, it's large. There's a lot going on, and that means that it can offer a lot of really a variety of price points throughout the building.
Yeah, the variety of price points is super expensive and fucking expensive. So, family struggling to make ends meet, come on down to SoFi and get yourself a suite. I'll tell you what I like about the NFL and SoFi and this whole thing. I'm looking down at my cheat sheet here. Broke ground at the end of 2016, right? There's some COVID delays and whatnot, but it's been done for a year and a half, 2 years, almost whatever. And that's when you have investors and the NFL and guys who want to make money and guys who have a calendar and a clock and everything. And then you have the bullet train from Modesto to Sacramento or whatever. $2 billion, $10,000 billion, nothing, years, zero,
so we
nothing.
Know it can be done.
Yes, I need some motivation. Right. This is my thing with the government. I like it when people are like, hey, we made an investment. We need to return our investment. We're on a clock. This thing can't take an endless amount of time. and you build. I mean, you fly over that thing going into LAX, and you go, "Oh my God, it's amazing what we can do when we're motivated versus what we can't do when there's just this sort of endless stream of money coming, no deadlines and no regulation."
Well, you know where those butt up against each other, and maybe Jason, you can refresh me on this, because I remember early on in the process, LA was like, doing the metro, but it wouldn't go close enough to SoFi at the time, or wasn't designed to. It was going to be a huge boondoggle. Did you guys get that straightened out? What was the process? How is that working now?
Yeah, I know. Great question. Parking and transportation is always number one and 1A in terms of the sales process. And, right now the Crenshaw line just goes just north of the site, just within a mile. City of Inglewood locally is working on a connector to bring that down, actually to locate down around the Forum and our side in the Clippers to the south. So obviously that's really an important process, and we have a lot of events coming up, whether it's the Super Bowl or the College Football National Championship, and the Super Bowl hopefully coming back year after year with some level of frequency, and the Olympics in 28. And, I think, Adam, to your point about these types of projects, I mean, I think there's, obviously having this aggregation of real estate, this 300 acres in a city like Los Angeles, it really, as Stan says, it's something that was so unique, it really probably shouldn't exist. And to have an owner with the real estate background and development background and the resources and the know-how to be able to put it together, and by the way, have an NFL team as well, is incredibly unique. And really, I think his desire to deliver something truly special to Los Angeles, and so we can have these events, right? And I think that was really a credit to him and his leadership.
Well, that's my point. If only this country could elect someone with some commercial building experience,
some real estate
and commercial building, we'd be living in a utopia.
Yeah.
Your mouth to God's ears.
I'm not touching that one.
All right. Well, let me give you a plug. The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl at SoFi Stadium, Oregon State, Utah State. That is this Saturday. That's 4:30 Pacific, and you can get tickets on sale at SoFiStadium.com/LA Bowl. Jason, I hope we can stay in touch. If anything, just to get a couple of comp tickets for Rams preseason game or something. You could probably.
I think we can do a little better than that. Hopefully we'll see this weekend.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
All right. Let's see. What happened to my screen, Max Pata? I will say, thanks. I will say this. The mask mandate, which is happening as we speak in L.A. or California or L.A. County, I don't even know anymore.
Counties, I'm sure.
The point is for those who are going to come out today and say hi when we do our live taping of Truth Yeller at the Bray Improv, you need to wear a mask to enter the place. I think once you get in your seat and order your food and your drink, you will not have to eat it through a mask. So, and the late show is sold out, but there's still a couple of tickets left to the TJ Miller show, which is kind of a matinee, like a 4:00 show. All right, Adam Ray is here. We'll bring him in momentarily. First, I'll tell you about Lucy Slim Nicotine Pouch. We're all adults. Some of us use nicotine to relax or focus or unwind after a long day. Lucy Nicotine, created to help nicotine users find a cleaner option and feel better about how they consume nicotine. Slim Nicotine Pouches contain pure synthetic with the same satisfaction nicotine users expect without any of the tobacco. And we've got 3 strengths. They got 4, 8, and 12 milligrams in 3 exclusive delicious flavors: spearmint, mango, and cool cider. So you want a little nicotine and you want to relax, and maybe you're on a flight, Dawson, pop one of these bad boys. So take the edge off for that long flight across the country. I know Kaylin indulges. Kaylin?
Yeah, they sent over some of the 8 milligram mango flavored pouches, and they're really good. I've been using them ever since.
Dawson, what do you got?
It's 2021. Don't compromise when you're choosing your nicotine products. Go with the newest tobacco-free options from Lucy. Adam Carolla Show listeners, go to lucy.co and use promo code Adam to get 20% off your order of Lucy Slim pouches or any other Lucy products. That's lucy.co and use promo code Adam at checkout. This product contains non-tobacco nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Lucy.co. Be sure to use promo code Adam.
Adam Ray's waiting in the wings. We'll talk to him right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace Man, I have been practicing the straight left after watching The Hammer. So, as a boxer, going forward, anytime I use the left straight, it's going to be called the Ace. Thank you. Have a great day.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Finally, a legacy. Adam Ray has joined us. His friend Santa Claus is stepping in.
Sure. You know, it's. I just feel like this time of year, you've got enough Jewy people on the show, and
Yes.
Adam Ray is the Jewiest of the Jew. So, time to him to take a seat, and obviously, I'm doing the podcast rounds right now as we prepare for the holidays, and Carolla is my favorite spot, so I stopped here first to bring some holiday joy. Bald Bryan is just staring down at the ground, fantasizing about the fleshlight that he asked for this year, which I will send early this year because I know you've.
I didn't want to jinx it by looking at you and reminding you.
It's fine. He's this. A fun fact about Bald Bryan.
Please.
The last 14 years he's asked for a fleshlight.
Oh, wow.
And this will be the first year that I deliver it myself.
That's the sex machine, essentially.
it's like a
Don't act like you don't know what it is, Mr. Carolla. It's yes, it's a sex machine. It's a tiny balloon that you fuck, and you can put jelly on the inside, chapstick.
Some refer to it as a pocket pussy.
Pocket pussy. There you are, Gina.
Yeah.
That was my nickname in middle school.
I look at that a lot like the golf ball cleaners at the.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
You drop
exactly
it
what
in,
it's
and you
like.
just plunge it up and down.
Plunge it up and down. Yes.
I wonder if the inventor of the fleshlight was out, playing the back nine at Riviera and just kept looking at a guy going,
should put my dick
"Hey,
in
you
one."
want
A
my
lot of
dick
fun.
in one of those."
Fun fact, the inventor of the fleshlight, also the same guy who came up with Tickle Me Elmo.
Did not know that.
Which is ironic because, this year's hot button item is not Tickle Me Elmo, which it was years ago. It's now Fuck Me Freddy, which is a cutout cardboard face of Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, my.
And you get to fuck his mouth with... I'm sorry. This is a
my,
filthier start to the show.
I thought it was Legos.
My
that were popping.
take on
No.
these, I like, the sex robots are getting better and better and better.
Oh, very realistic. And they talk
very-
back, which is a bummer.
Yeah, but realistic.
Yeah.
And
the dirty talk is better.
so here's my dilemma, Santa.
Please.
Because I was thinking about asking for one of these. Brian
A sex
and his
robot.
Yeah, well, like
old
obviously
school.
there's a different tax bracket between Brian and I.
Sure. And
he
couple of different tax brackets.
he can afford something that's more
Well, you can afford the
localized.
Filipino sex robots.
But I want the whole gal.
I need the
Right.
starter model. Whereas you got to go for the premium.
Yeah,
With the
now
VR
here's what I'm asking because I know you know how all this stuff works.
Sure.
So my thing is like back in the day, we had porno magazines and discs and cassettes and things.
Oh,
Things that could
so
be
good.
stashed in between the mattress
Yep.
and the box spring. You know what I mean? You could hide this stuff.
Yep.
Right.
Places. The full-size sex robot.
Where do
that's
you
gonna
put
be,
it?
Yeah, where do you put it?
The
You know what I
closet?
mean?
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. A lot
pantry?
of judging going on when people
Yeah.
enter the home. They see
Housekeeper.
the sex robot
Oh,
there.
what is that? Are you gonna fuck that robot again? It's like, geez,
Right.
take it easy. Just
Right.
clean the floors, Pam.
That's right. And the robot, actually, as long as you're cleaning. Yeah. But so here's what I'm saying. I'm saying instead of stashing it somewhere, we need to have another job for it to do.
Hide
to
it in
justify
plain
it.
sight.
Lean into it. So
Throw a
what-
couple of coats on it.
I'm
an
saying
umbrella.
it'd be like, Gina, you come
Yeah.
in and ask, is that your sex robot? You're upset. You're a woman.
I haven't been over here in a while. It's really good to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Is that a sex robot?
Oh, you mean my automated dog walker?
Oh, what?
Who I sometimes fuck?
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, quit being so judgy,
Oh, you know, I'll
bitch.
just leave it
the
at
last
automated.
detail,
Right.
honestly, I think about leaving
Oh,
that
I
out.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize.
Let's try again. Try it again.
Yes. Here we go.
Is that a sex robot?
Oh, no, that's, are you talking about my automated dog walker who I never fuck?
The very same.
I would leave the last part off entirely.
Hold on, Brian. You just told me.
I know what I said, and I realize that can be interpreted.
You just said to do that.
Yeah, I just said not to mention the fucking, and you went the other way, which is
it's
smart.
a choice.
Smart.
I think
I would
this
leave the last part off.
Okay, all right.
Let's try. See if I can meet you in the middle.
God, it's been so great. I haven't been here in a. Is that a sex robot?
Are you talking about my automated dog walker who I intermittently fuck?
What?
Well, isn't that sort of in the middle, Brian?
Yeah, that is, but again, I think you're
down
doing
the
more
pipe.
damage than, it's
Maybe
I'm
just
going
leave
to
the
work it out,
fucking-
but I'm
yeah.
just saying, Santa,
Hey, I'm picking up what you're putting
if
down.
she could do another job around the
Right.
house, then there'd be justification. Like, no one
Just to
knows
offset the sex
Well,
stuff.
we'll get back to the real maid. Some guys fuck their maids.
Right.
Sure.
Thank you.
But we don't know.
Right.
You
Because
know
she's
what I'm saying?
primarily there to clean.
There you go.
I'm there to get recertified in CPR again.
Right.
That's right.
In 2021, I think if you have a robot in or around the house, everyone's assuming that you're fucking it, right? Mm-hmm. No one goes, oh, that's just for fun goofs around the house. It's, like you said, a dog walker or even those vacuum.
Maybe the
Roomba.
Roomba. Maybe we combine the fleshlight with the Roomba.
Well, that's a terrible idea.
Well, it does suck.
But that's justified.
It does.
It does give it some purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keeps you
You know what I
squeaky
mean?
clean.
It's
Ooh, and
justifiable.
there's the mop ones now that spray the lubricant.
That's right. The Swiffer.
On your dick?
Yeah.
Good
again,
God,
I
man.
feel like
Where
we're
were
doing
you
more-
raised?
Brian, you said enough.
Yes, quiet.
What's
You're-
the one mic on?
Bah, humbug. Table for one. Jeez, don't invite this guy to your barbecue.
So what are the big ticket items beside the fleshlight?
So
this
a
year?
lot of the kids this year are asking for all sorts of exciting gifts and goodies, right? There's obviously most kids sit on my lap. Still it's parents are a little weird about that still. There's a lot of Santas out there that have gotten a little too handsy. So I put my hands up as soon as they sit down and I go, whoa, 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 I'm not hard, right? Just to let the parents know that I'm a good guy, right?
Oh, you know what? Now
Maybe don't say
I owe
that.
Brian an apology.
Yeah,
The part
now
where
you
you
hear
say
it.
I'm not hard,
Sure.
that made me hear the part where I go, my automated dog walker who I'm not fucking.
You can
Yeah.
see now how it comes
I
across.
I just want to
Just put
squash
the hands up.
squash the issue before it becomes a problem.
Right.
But I guess some
In a
things
way,
are-
you're making it an issue.
Yeah, I guess I should just take that to the grave, right? Because if I am hard, they don't want to know that either.
True.
I'm saying
I digress.
you
so the
saying
hot
not
toys.
hard. I'm saying it sort of plants a hard dick in your ear.
As
Gotcha.
though, yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do,
So to
yes.
speak.
As though it's an option for you to be hard. with a
Well,
kid.
some of these kids sit down very quick, and that's
Right.
I mean. So I'm at the mall, right? And a lot of these kids come through, and there's some big fucking kids these days. I mean, kids have just not slowed down on dipping Twinkies into Cool Whip and wrapping burritos around the middle.
Right.
I mean, it's just calorie city. So they sit down, my leg falls asleep. They go, "Hey, can you ask my parents to reconcile their marriage?" And I go, "Fuck you, Toby. What do I look like, Dr. Phil?" Right.
Right.
So then they go, "Well, how about like a snake or something, or how about can I have a pen?" Some dumb shit asked me for a pen. That's like if a Make-A-Wish kid wanted to meet John Tesh. You're wasting your opportunity. I'm Santa Claus. Ask me for something magical, right?
Right.
And that brings me to my point. Adam, what would you like for this Christmas? I know you've had it pretty terrific year. Everything's going according to plan. But if you could really just hunker down and get that one thing that no one will probably buy you. I'm not talking socks or a calendar or a nice big, just a nice big plate of meatloaf covered in all the bullshit that you like to eat.
I love meatloaf.
Hard-boiled egg.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Well, if we're beyond the sex robot and the fleshlight,
Sure.
I would say an experience. One of those things where you play laser tag in a fighter plane,
There
where
you
you do
go.
simulated dog fights over the
Sure.
ocean,
Yeah.
and you have the lead and the follow and all that. Some experience, in terms of. I got slippers, I got two of everything, but I would say some form of an experience.
Here's an experience for you. I've set up what we call, you've heard of the term bukkake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're hosting these annual holiday bukkake parties, and actually, your friend Matt Fondelier is the first one to RSVP.
Oh,
so
was
it's
he?
very
Really?
exciting. It'll be hosted by a bunch of little elves, and you come in, and it's kind of like White Elephant, but then it turns into quite the shenanigans. And so that's a type of experience you could offer to a friend, a coupon code, possibly.
Now, can you go?
Very
Can you go either way on the experience? Which side of the white elephant you want to be on?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, there's plenty of givers and takers, and
How is a white elephant? Gina, how's a white elephant party?
Well, there's a different white elephant can either be like a secret Santa where you pull a name out of a hat and you give someone a present. You don't reveal who you are until. But what you're probably thinking of is a Yankee swap when you put all the presents in the middle. Everybody picks a number and then you pick the present. If you don't like it, you steal from somebody else. Very stressful.
You know me, but I learned
about Bitcoin.
We did two things growing up. We had every party. My mom never threw a party. My dad never threw a party, but my grandmother would throw a party, and it was always potluck. So I learned everyone had to bring all the food to your house when you, in fact, were hosting a party.
That's how it should be.
That was cop out number one.
Sure.
Cop out number two was the grab bag.
Oh.
Everybody would buy a fucking gift, put it in the thing. Well, once you remove your name from the gift, because no one knew who bought what, the bar goes down super fucking low.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
just think about if I said, you got to get someone an Amazon gift certificate. One is from Gina, and the other is just an
blind
Amazon.
item.
Yeah. Well, you just went from $100 to $8,
I
right?
rep to protect.
We got a shrimp devainer.
I knew that's where you got
A fucking shrimp devainer. Somebody, first off, I don't even know if they purchased it. It was a 99-cent store item
Probably
at
stole it.
best. It was a little double fork prong thing that had a little plastic shrimp. Now, it's me. I had nothing when I was 7. I was like, go, Dad, get that. No, get that.
So
Pull it.
sad.
Opens a shrimp devainer. I've never eaten shrimp. There was no shrimp. Nobody owned shrimp. First off, when we shopped, we never went to the seafood section.
you go to the
that was a
butcher aisle.
fucking fresh thing under glass on ice with market price. Are you fucking nuts? We got a can of Vandy Camp's hash, corned beef hash, or Dinty Moore stew, or TV dinner. They never even when I would go to the supermarket, I would stare at the seafood. Then I'd just go, what is this?
What king gets
What
to...
was this? And then the next move would I would head over to the automated orange juice making machine, which was at the Gelson's.
Oh,
and I would
sure.
just stare at it. It was really like, $8 for a fresh
yeah.
quart of pressed
Exciting
whatever
stuff.
The idea that we got a shrimp devainer. What kind of mad person? You know who we are. We eat Salisbury steak. I never.
Yeah. Why not a crown polisher?
My dad never bought a shrimp. My mom never bought a shrimp.
What
My
a shitty
grandparents
gift.
never bought a shrimp. And also, I don't know how the deveining process works.
Just remove the poop.
Could there be a shittier for a
That person
for a
should be
7-year-old?
ashamed of themselves.
If you're going to the seafood section to get a gift, I mean, you should just jump into traffic. The only people that I see at the grocery store in the seafood section anyway are like blind kids, MILFs, and widows. Just people looking to take things up a notch on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I heard that. We got some calls, by the way, Santa.
Perfect.
Jared's got a bummer of a call.
Oh, from Anaheim.
Anaheim, 44.
I really feel Jared's call.
They've got that new Star Wars.
Jared, Miho.
Hey guys.
Hi, guy.
I sincerely, if Santa, if you could give me anything for Christmas.
Sure, Jared.
Well, my wife has stage 4 cancer.
Fuck.
So I would love a cure for that if you could.
Oh, dear God, Jared.
Good God.
Wait, first off, I'll buy you some time, Santa, because that's a tough one. But does it go past stage 4?
Yeah, stage 5 is the end.
Is that?
Oh, boy.
Stage 5 means
That's the end.
That's hospice.
Well,
Yeah.
Jared, first of all, I want to
Essentially,
send my condolences and my goddammits and my fucks towards you because that is one sticky, shitty fucking situation. But, I wish I had some sort of code to reverse it, right? Like a left, down, up, B, select, start type situation to make that cancer go away. But I would like to tell you that I look, now, real quick, this isn't Jared from Subway, is it?
No.
Perfect. Because I'm a Quizno guy, Jared.
What kind of cancer does she have?
It started out as a muscular tumor, as a sarcoma. And it was in fact, attached to the muscle. In her case, she got the jackpot. It attached to the muscle of her uterus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
They thought it was essentially the stages refer to how far beyond the origin point has it spread. They thought it was possibly mid-stage 2, but that they had gotten it with the surgery, and so they put her through some chemo just to make sure, clean everything out. But during the chemo, 4 treatments in, they had to pause. She got an infection, and when they scanned, they found that it had spread into bones.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So how old is your wife?
51 this year.
Oh, so she's a little bit older than you. How long have you guys been married?
16 years.
Oh boy, how are you doing?
It's been rough because we're actually at the hospital today since Sunday because Sunday morning she's now actually lost all feeling and movement in her legs.
I told you this was a bad idea, Chris.
The spine.
Oh, Adam Ray's so
the tumors
funny.
Are growing into the spinal cord. So.
I have all the callers calling.
Jared,
I want train sets and.
Jared, can I send over some dwarves to dance or something, or is there a? Jared, I do hear some chatter and giggling in the background. Are you keeping things light? Are you trying to keep our spirits as positive as possible? It sounds like you're doing a good job of that. You're not It seems like you're a pretty positive guy. No.
I certainly try to be. Yeah, I typically would say I am. Yes.
Like if it's full count, bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, and you're up at the plate, and
I want to hit the home run.
You don't want to.
Lean into a pitch
and get hit by it, and then everyone goes,
surprise her with a bunt.
Surprise her with a bunt, and everyone's like, we're down by 20. This doesn't even help, Jared. You don't want to climb into the stands and give your bat to a kid.
All right, Jared, look, obviously there's nothing we can say that's going to mitigate this horrible situation. You're a good man.
We love you.
And
love you, Jared. Keep your head up.
Good luck.
We were wishing you all the luck in the world. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
Jesus Christ.
Sweet fuck.
That's the only call we had.
That's it. I like that you played Christmas music over the beginning of that call, as if that was going to somehow dilute the tragic nature of. There it is again. Perfect.
Santa, if I may give you some credit, you showed incredible restraint by not inviting him to the bukkake party.
Well, it's Matt Fondelier's wishes. He says no cancer people.
We do have your good friend Adam Ray. We have a stand-up clip.
Oh, great! I'd love to hear some of that
stand-up clip of him performing.
I think he's got some road
Adam?
dates.
Where was Adam performing?
This looks like it was in San Francisco at the Punchline, but I know he's going to be in Arizona on the 22nd and 23rd and 25th and 26th. Tickets at AdamRayComedy.com. Let's see the clip.
True issue, with the Saturday night early show. Like, this is probably not the end of the line for you, Yeah. A buddy of mine, his wife, they met on a night where they were both pretty fucked up, and now they're married with kids, which I'm always like, dude, that's so crazy, because that's your story. So at some point when your kid is like, Mom, how did you and Dad meet? Like, she's gonna be like, well, vodka soda. It was a rainy Napa Valley Wednesday, and I didn't want to go out. I just had too much schoolwork to do, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not tonight. But my friends, Ashley, Aaron, Ansley, they were like, we're going out, bitch. Like, you deserve it. You need this. And they were right. So we went out to Sweat, which is like a cool new club. Like, all the clubs are for whatever reason named ironically after the reason you want to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like Sweat or Crowded or creepy Persian guy with tight pants, And so we went to Sweat because we knew Derek. So everybody knows Derek, right? Yeah, he's Derek is one of those more boo, less cocky guys. You know what I'm saying? Where he's down to have fun, but not too much. Does that make sense? So we get on the dance floor, and I'm like, I'm feeling myself. Like, I didn't have to pee for like an hour, so I'm out there just like fucking doing all my moves, all my signature, you know. And I see this guy at the bar, like looking towards the bathroom, but like at the dance floor, and he had this look in his eye where he was like, you know, like not like he would stab you on the first date, but like where you could defend yourself if it did, you know, you could fucking, you know. And like he didn't look like a pussy, but he looked like a man, like mysterious. And all of a sudden I feel this presence behind me on the dance floor, and I feel this like breath, like this hot, like queso, like just this milky, just, you know, and he said, you know, he was so sweet. He was like, I've never seen you here before. But he didn't say that. He was fucked up. He actually said, "God damn!" And I was like, this guy means business. He's like mysterious but chivalrous. And then he put his dick on the back of my knee, and I was like, this is real. And so I woke up on his futon, and here you are. So I've been where you are, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, it's pretty good. Seemed like he stumbled a little bit at the beginning.
I don't know. He got that audience,
Pretty
man.
good. Stuck the landing, yeah. Pretty
stuck that
charismatic
landing.
guy.
Santa.
Sure.
We're going to, I think, bid you adieu at some point. We'll bring in your buddy Adam Ray.
Am I overstaying my welcome?
No.
Feel a little tension here in the room.
Well, you
Is
got a
it,
lot to do. I mean, it's the time of the year.
I mean, most of it's going to be Amazon this year. You know, I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not-
Prime, yeah.
Oh yeah, you
That's
just
all
kind of
Amazon.
send out some coupon codes, and you know, I got a Lax wants some sort of new piano and fucking blow up doll. I don't know. Everyone wants a doll this year.
Santa, can I ask you a question?
Please.
As somebody who's now starting to celebrate Christmas for the first time in her life.
Oh, yes.
And has a little one in the house, I feel like, you know, my husband works so hard. He busts his ass to get these great gifts. And I'm sitting here like looking in being like, you should get the credit for this, not
Yes.
Santa.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Well, look, behind every man is a better man, and that man is me. And it's like, for the idea of a present comes from Santa. You know,
Right.
it's kids
True.
believe. And the only reason I'm still alive is because kids continue to believe. The moment they stop believing, I'll die. You know, I'm not on the inside, but on the outside.
Can't
you know,
have that.
And you know, I truth be told, there's been already countless times this past year at the North Pole where I've felt like I might die because of just I brought some Pepto-Bismol chewables because I've got severe holiday diarrhea, and I know that. Carolla, you know all about this because every other year this guy's writing letters to Santa in crayon of all things to use and saying, "Dear Santa, AC here," and I'm squirting out of my ass and I can't stop it. And we had to change the pool filter, and you know, it's a long letter. I can send it to you, but this guy is.
He knows it.
I relate to the people, is what I'm trying to say. And you know, look, does Dawson look like a guy I brought cigarettes from in Grand Theft Auto? Yes, he does, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about presents and men getting credit. And I hear you, Gina, but also, you know, look, it's it's just it's tough to compete with the best.
No, you're
And
right. Very true.
It's like if Mrs. Claus left me for like LeBron James, I'd be a little insecure. I'd be like, well, he's probably, there's a lot of, he's packing a lot of heat down there, you know, and I'm not just saying like because his legs are hot because of the game. That's probably, what do you think, 10 to 12 feet?
Well, Santa, I don't know, but like I've said before on this podcast, I was making a reference to Shaq's schlong.
Sure.
And
which, by the way, is another hot toy this year. It's a stuffed pillow. It's a big pillow.
It's a frother.
It's a throw.
It's a froth.
Stick it into your collar.
When your honey's out of town and you want something to snuggle with, you just snuggle up with Shaq's schlong. And
I was making a reference to Shaq. You know, I was trying to think of who's got to be packing the most heat, and I think I was sitting next to Amanda Peet.
Ooh, name drop.
Or was it Holly Robinson?
Holly Robinson Pete.
Amanda Peet would be interesting.
Yeah, Holly Robinson Pete.
How about this? Holly Robinson Pete, Amanda Pete, Pete Sampras. Marry, fuck, kill. I'm fucking Sampras. I'm killing Holly.
Yeah.
Because I auditioned for Hanging with Mr. Cooper one year and didn't get on it.
I got a problem with Pete Sampras because Jimmy Kimmel always says, I look like Pete Sampras.
Oh, dear God.
And then he pauses and says, but with Down syndrome. Which I would argue is not unnecessarily much like my dog walker, my automated
Right.
dog
Yeah,
walker. Don't
unnecessarily
attack-
hurtful.
Don't need to tack that
Right.
on,
Don't
but
need
we
that,
do.
no, it's an
But you
extra
brought up
bite.
Holly Robinson, Pete.
I brought up. No, I brought up Shaq Schlong.
Shaq Schlong.
And Holly Robinson was sitting next to me.
Ooh.
And during the commercial break, she said, I dated Shaq.
No fucking way.
Not so much.
No way.
Which, by the way, I felt like Woody Allen with Malcolm McClure or what's his name?
Malcolm McLuhan.
McLuhan.
Yeah, Marshall
right.
McLuhan.
Marshall McLuhan,
Yeah.
right. Like you're not usually validated or you don't get the information in that real time. Normally
Yeah.
you're just talking about an NBA's legends,
Right.
huge dong. You don't have someone 15 seconds later going, you know what, I've been with him.
No, that's
so much. But that was a useful piece of information.
That's a shooting star type
Absolutely.
moment. I would never guess. So I guess if you, for the Shaq Schlong pillow, going back to the product,
I want to do the frother.
That's also a great idea.
Yeah,
And maybe
go
when
ahead.
you hug the pillow, he just goes, sorry, it's supposed to be bigger. Did you talk to Holly Robinson, Pete? You're like, well, this pillow's got a lot of catchphrases inside of it. What a bummer. A small penis, huh? Well,
So
And
for
small
me,
for him could be 8
small
inches.
for a 7
That's what I'm
foot
talking
two.
but
about.
it ruined it for me. So
Right.
anytime I see a commercial for the General
Yeah.
or
Papa
Holiday
John's.
Cruises or Papa John's or Subway
All
or
you can think
Quiznos or Allstate or any commercials ever, High C,
Yeah.
any commercial ever made, whenever I see
Overcompensating.
Shaq pop up, I'm just a little disappointed. You know what I mean?
Poor Shaq.
All right, let me tell you, we'll get Santa swapped out with the great Adam Ray
Thanks for having me,
the
guys.
for
Merry
the news.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
First, I'll tell you about Liquid IV. Man, you got to work out, especially around the holidays. I want to pack on the extra pounds. Cooler weather makes it easier to miss signs of dehydration, and flu season is upon us now. It's important for your immune system to stay hydrated. Liquid IV, this stuff's so good. I always travel with it. Crossing time zones, you're flying, maybe have a couple drinks on the plane, getting a little dehydrated, early mornings, late nights, workouts. One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. 5 essential vitamins, more vitamin C than an orange, as much potassium as a banana. No artificial flavors or preservatives, less sugar than an apple. Great new flavors, lemon, lime, strawberry, watermelon, guava. It's Liquid IV, right, Dawson?
Grab your favorite Liquid IV flavors nationwide at Walmart, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Adam at checkout. It's 25% off anything you order when you get better hydration today using promo code Adam at liquidiv.com.
All right, quick break. Back with Adam Ray in the news right after this.
Well, hi, Adam Ray. It's great to have you here.
Hey, guys. Hey, who was that in here?
Oh, he was a very
dude.
magical, jolly man.
Take that as a huge compliment. We just have maybe the biggest celebrity on earth
Ever.
in the
shit.
studio. We're like, all right, Adam Ray's coming in.
Yeah, we booted him.
Wow.
Made
Yeah.
space.
All right, well, thanks for letting me come back.
Well, we're glad you're here because we have more news on Jussie Smollett. The city of Chicago says it will sue him to recoup the $130,000 spent on the investigating his fake hate crime. Thursday, we know a jury found the former Empire actor guilty of disorderly conduct for lying about the 2019 incident. He faces up to 15 years in prison, but legal experts say it's more likely he'll stay out of jail, get probation. A statement
Somebody
from
tweeted me a funny meme or something, which is like, thank you to Jussie Smollett for hiring black actors in traditionally white roles.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was funny.
It's
That's
really good.
funny. Yeah.
Here's what the city of Chicago's director of public affairs says. The city intends to continue to pursue its lawsuit to hold Smollett accountable for his unlawful actions and to demand that he compensate the city for costs incurred by the Chicago Police Department, which took his false claim of harm seriously.
I don't know how much he was making on Empire. Does anyone know?
That's a good question.
It's always funny when they.
Yeah, was he like a series reg? Was he getting like 30 and up?
I don't know, but when you see these people, like, he's a Hollywood actor making
star.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, like, I don't realize, first off, you live in LA, manager, agent,
It's getting
tax
stale.
man. You're not walking with that much in your pocket. Does he have
Oh, I got it.
money?
39-year-old actor was paid $65,000 per episode,
Boom, dude, you're fine.
Nice. And
What's
how
he
many?
doing?
which means he would receive
22?
around $1.17 million in total, it says. So he's doing okay.
1.17, 1.1,
Yeah.
or close to 1.2.
Now,
So
I read somewhere that like he was going to get killed off or was getting fired and had an album coming out too, and this is why he did this. Do you know? Does that sound?
I know
right?
he sings because I have a vague recollection, and maybe Chris can find it,
of going to a Jussie Smollett concert.
Yeah, but I think I got roofied.
And then taken.
When he came to L.A., or after this whole thing, came back to L.A. and put on a small event and did the greatest is all the clips of, him crying in front of whoever's interviewing him or him talking about justice, standing on the stage 5 days later or whatever it was. But there's footage of him doing a concert, I think out here in Los Angeles several days after the attack.
Yes. He performed.
Trying to ride that wave.
Mm-hmm. What was that, Chris? Is I making that up?
He had a concert at the Troubadour in West Hollywood, like a month after, or February. Yeah.
I am more,
Let's get that sympathy.
I'm jealous. I learned this at so the Jussie Smollett thing. It kind of taught me what I learned from. I took a flight back to L.A. from New York. Ended up sitting right next to or just behind or something. Jim Brown,
nice,
legendary running back, obviously, and. Let's see.
Tommy Davidson?
Tommy Davidson, thank you. I could think of it, the Pizzone. He did Pizza Hut commercials where he's like selling the Pizzone guy, right? Now,
is that the Pizzone guy?
I mean, no disrespect to Tommy Davidson.
No way.
But
money.
He's the Pizzone guy, and the other guy's Jim Brown, right?
Hall of Famer.
And they were thick as thieves, and they were, but it was kind of clear it's because they were both black.
Yeah.
There's no white version of that, is what I'm saying. I sit next to Barbara Streisand on a plane. She thinks I'm a piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, we're the same color.
Yeah,
what do we got?
Yeah.
Bono, he'd turn his nose up at, me.
Never stop throwing up.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas back in the day probably wouldn't have had a lot to talk about. I did, done a couple things on TV, but it's not.
Take Buckus.
Yeah, we'd have to know each other.
Right.
It wouldn't be just we're both white guys.
Previously
we have this
introduced.
kinship.
Yeah.
I know. I'm telling you, the Jussie Smollett thing. He had every politician, every black composer, the biggest names in sports. Like Jussie's a dear friend and a dear soul and a dear. He had a bit part on a show.
Never heard the name before that day.
There's no possible way you guys. Of course, I just texted Jussie. I wished him strength and healing.
Love and light.
Love and light.
Everyone wants to claim
Quincy Jones? What? Like, who the fuck? Like me? Oh, yeah, Burt Bacharach. He fucking loves me, that guy. Yeah, I mean, because we're white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He likes jack-off comedians from fucking Deep Cable, and he's Burt Bacharach. He doesn't know the fuck I am, and he probably, if he did, he wouldn't like me. He's not texting me inspirational things about... Chuck Mangione's not texted me anything nice, or Herb Alpert, or any of the great buglemen of our time.
I'm going to Herb Alpert's restaurant tonight.
Really?
Yes, I am.
You and I.
We're on the same page,
Simpatico.
man.
Yeah, like I know a couple of white dudes from this town. They're not particularly fans of mine.
Well, you need a scandal to find out who your real friends are.
That's true.
That's what it is.
Do you think
Come out
John
of the
Popper would
woodwork.
come out and say Adam Carolla is a dear friend? Oh, he might.
Oh, yeah, John.
He would.
John might
Do you
say
think the lead
so.
singer of Smash Mouth would come out and be like,
Steve Harwell.
Steve Harwell.
I know I'm cool. I don't do
these
You know what,
days.
though?
Yeah, that's not.
Matt
how he
McGrath
sounds.
would.
Mark
McGrath.
No. Let's. You know what? That was a proper slip
That's a
up.
moment.
Everyone talks about Mark, and no one gives any credibility to Matt McGrath, who's the one that came up with the name Sugar Ray. Matt's sitting there like, I'm the one who came up with the band name. You said it.
First off, no one. If something happened to me. There would definitely not be white guys telling me to stay strong and talk about what a dear and gentle soul. It'd be like, hey, he's half a douche. I didn't like him that much last time I saw him. I couldn't get the people that came out of the woodwork. I mean, he had Maxine Waters, Kamala Harris, and all these big celebrities.
Yeah.
And
Who do you think you would have?
White guys?
Yeah, like I don't know, Matt Lauer,
publicly?
and Pete Lee.
That's the whole thing. They would distance themselves from me.
Yeah. They'd pile on.
They wouldn't try to send out their little wishes of hope and strength and talk about what dear friends we were when we weren't friends.
How about this? Where would you stage your attack if you had to Smollett it?
Well, first thing first, I would find a place that had some representation, like the middle of downtown Chicago. Not a lot of MAGA guys floating around in that place. So I would set the table.
You go to the
place.
Palisades.
Yeah, I'd go. Well, I'm trying to think who's attacking me.
Depends.
Oh, that's a good point. It might be the MAGA guys.
Yeah.
Maybe closer to SoFi.
Gina, City of Champions?
I feel like James Brolin would stand behind me.
Yeah.
Not Josh.
Interesting, because like you said, Barbara probably not a fan. James is he's
you
in.
get James Brolin, you get Stephen Baldwin, and you get Matt McGrath.
Yeah.
Standing behind AC.
That's right.
Ride or die.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Where were we?
Well-
we have Jesse's. Is this where he's talking it up?
Yeah, so
before
this is just days after
Mm-hmm.
the claim he went to he still performed at the Troubadour.
By the way, that's the move. If you, I mean, I don't know who suggested concert right after, but do you think that was in the game plan, or he was just like,
Probably
I
maybe had to have it on the
piggyback
calendar,
for sure.
right?
Exposure.
But I mean, it's a consummate pro because only days after his fake beating.
Yeah.
Most people
up.
want to
He
take
mustered
time
the
to
energy.
fake recover.
Yeah.
But not him.
He bounced back.
Right
How'd he
back on
do it?
stage. Here he is.
It's getting emotional.
minute.
I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm going to, and I'm gonna stand strong with y'all.
The voice cracking. The voice cracking.
The act, wow, dude.
He's committed.
He should put this on his reel.
Don't feel emotional.
It's a minute.
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds. I had to be here tonight, y'all. And it sounds proudful, but I couldn't let those motherfuckers win.
Oh my God.
We're getting into stratus of sociopathy
I was
at
just
this
going to
point,
ask,
right?
what is the DSM-5 diagnosis of this guy?
So I will
Butterfly
always stand
net.
for love. I will never stand for anything other than that. Regardless of what anyone else says, I will only stand for love. And I hope that you all stand with me. So thank you. And let's have a good show. Let's have a good time.
even if they say I staged that whole fight.
It gets a little surreal at this point,
that's
right?
crazy.
I've come around. He's our finest actor.
Yeah, I know, man. It's almost like, if you're that good, it just kind of washes it away. I don't know.
Well, that's the question. This is the question I always have for leaders of religions and, mega churches, whatever. My question is always, do they believe it? Or do they just know that they are hosing the masses? Does he have the kind of quirk, let's say, that he now remembers this as a fact?
No, you know what I think? I think this is the phenomenon we're speaking of. I think when you, I've made a lot of crank calls, right? And you do this thing where you're trying to convince somebody of something, and at some point you just start getting into it.
Yeah.
And for that moment, even though I'm trying to convince a guy who runs a gymnasium that I have conjoined twins, but I want them to compete, on a trampoline or something, the tears will be summoned at some point.
Yes.
And you go, do you really believe this? You're just kind of in it for that.
You embody that moment.
Yes.
It's like George Costanza said, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Right.
So I guess that's true.
Yeah.
We need to do Black Panther.
But
That's right.
that is surreal now watching it.
Yes.
And also the audience,
Take your time.
He needs a minute.
So many of those people tape that on their phones. You think they're scrolling back through, the way you're on a plane, maybe you scroll through some videos and pictures. Like, how many do you think stop on that, delete it because they're like, they don't want to be reminded of when they were just had,
It'd be nice. But they do a thing where they go, well, maybe this didn't happen, but as long as this exists, then I can keep going with it.
Well, maybe they should have asked Kim Kardashian to help them out because she is getting very close to becoming a real lawyer.
You guys.
For real. On Monday, she said she passed the baby bar law exam on the 4th try. On Instagram, she wrote, looking in the mirror, really proud of the woman looking back today in the reflection. For anyone who doesn't know my law school journey, look at that picture. No, this wasn't easy or handed to me. So I was confused as to how you do this without going to law school, and I'll explain it to you. She's not doing a traditional, state-accredited law school, which means she had to pass the baby bar, which is the equivalent of completing 1 year of law school. So there's another way.
So you can just take a test and do a year of law school?
It's kinda, it's interesting, I think. It varies from state to state, but like some places you have to go to law school, and then some places you can just try taking the bar.
Yeah, just see what happens.
I wonder if they do that with commercial airline pilots.
I hope not.
In Florida, we don't do a whole lot of classroom time, but hey, if you can land this fucking plane,
You're up
give
there,
it a
buddy.
shot. Like, we'll see what
We'll take
happens. She's kind of, you want to hate them, but then they say stupid stuff like looking in the mirror and looking back at them, which is grotesque and retarded.
Then she's
but
doing prison
doing
reform.
something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're so good at they just won't go away.
No.
For lack of a better breakdown of it, it's just like the fact that that she's popping up and then it's just like, now fucking Pete, it's like,
Is there
there's no quit in this family.
Maybe in terms of getting myself pushed out even further from Hollywood, but they have celebrities that are constantly working on freeing up prisoners and prison reform.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone in charge of locking up more black people? Because I'm saying it seems like an opening there.
Oh, like a vacuum.
For a celebrity?
Yeah.
Oh, like the
go the other
judicial
way.
system's doing a good job.
Scott Baio in charge of
Okay,
trying
There
to
we
get
go.
more
Right.
black.
I feel like
I mean,
you
what's
take
with all
that.
these smash and grabs? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Well,
Just a
just
slap on the hand. These guys are out doing it the next week.
You want to throw your hat in the ring?
Does
I would,
Dog
yeah.
the Bounty Hunter count?
I think he's lost a step.
Okay, yeah.
Remember,
yeah.
he sprained his ankle
He
looking
literally
for.
rolled his
Brian
ankle in
Laundrie.
the swamp.
Yeah, Brian Laundrie.
Oh man, what a bummer.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're named Dog the Bounty Hunter and you have any sort of
Whoopsie daisy.
Did he say that when he sprained his ankle? No, whoopsie daisy. Dude, that's
Well, in the interest of not stopping to talk about the Kardashian Jenners, TMZ reports that Caitlyn Jenner got denied service at the Beverly Hills Hotel because of her ripped jeans, and she was pissed.
Wow.
She took to social media.
Can I?
Yes.
Just so there's some context here. It wasn't the tear in the jeans. It was Caitlin's dick hanging out.
Yeah,
of the
they're
rib.
torn right
That's-
across.
yeah, and you
That's
can't
what
they
you
omit
can't
that
go into
from the
Chili's
story?
with that.
Yeah, to be fair.
It was the jeans that was the issue.
See, this is fake news because that wasn't even in this
They
report.
didn't say the hog was
No.
hanging out of the jeans.
She wrote, "Fuck your horrible service for," and we have a picture of the jeans, "for not letting me have lunch with this tiny rip in my jeans. Shame on you, disgusting. I've been a patron for decades. No longer." And this was at the Polo Lounge over at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Now, a rep for the Polo Lounge tells TMZ, "Please see our dress code policy, which is stated on our website and provided to every
Whoa.
guest when they make a reservation. It says, at the Polo Lounge, we encourage you to dress for the occasion."
Can I? The hole in the knee. Can I say this?
It's an expensive haul. I've no
Dress,
doubt.
yeah, okay, dress codes. Hole in the knees. We don't want a bunch of ragtag hobos blowing through this joint.
Sure.
But when
Minors.
it's a pair of $250 jeans that were intentionally,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So there's hole in the knee. I went down to Barney's of New York and spent
Right.
$300
Yeah.
bucks on jeans, and then there's hole in the knees. I blow dudes at truck stops.
Right.
They're two different holes.
Yeah.
I'm the
You know what
bad
I'm saying?
guy
At
from
least
Cruella.
two.
Yeah. You
Right.
should-
and I would argue that intentional expensive hole jeans that we're going against the spirit
Right.
of the rule.
But don't you kind of like it? Like their old school approach? Like, I'm sorry,
I
Caitlin.
do. I do like
The
it.
staff should be able to recognize, you're right, like who made the hole, the people who made the jeans or the
Right.
person who bought the jeans.
Was that worn? Did you earn that hole?
Did you? Yeah.
Well, let me tell you other things.
Any
That,
hole in the
And
storm.
that's what I ask most people that come on my show, Adam. I
Oh.
go, did you earn
Dr.
that
Phil.
hole?
Yeah.
Okay, if that hole's going to get plugged up with something, did you earn it? Okay, because every hole's got a purpose, and every hole's got a what?
It's a philism, right?
Got to be filled. We'll be right back.
I knew it was a philism.
Now, how do we feel about hats in restaurants? Because
Well-
I've been asked many times to leave or take the hat off.
wow. See, that's what Polo
That's a
Lounge would
baseball
do.
hat. But
Not
it's
like a fedora.
No, it was a yarmulke. It was at a.
Oh, well,
Oh, that's
it was
a
at a
hate
Proud
crime.
Boys diner, and
Right.
yeah.
They don't want hats. They don't want ripped jeans. They don't want crop tops, nightwear, swimwear,
boy.
sleeveless shirts.
I'm out.
Did,
Sleeveless leather vest.
So
Yeah.
Caitlin went to probably meet somebody
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Ooh,
for lunch.
God. does this.
I went on a date there many, many years ago with a friend whose agent asked me out, and I think I've said this before. He said, "Would you like to go out with me tonight? It will be Algonquin." And I feel like that, I don't know what he thought that meant, but we went and he picked me up and I think we were in a Prius, and every time we would get to a stoplight or a stop sign, there'd be a bunch of soup cans rolling around in the trunk. And it was all very unnerving.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I actually went there for like a business meeting with some radio guys that were like out of town. Like, why don't we meet at the Beverly? And I get why people go there because two guys. Mark Wahlberg was sitting right next to us, and he's just like, "Hey, Adam, how you doing?"
Hey,
I didn't really
what's going on?
know him that. Hey, Mark.
Hey,
yeah,
I recognize you.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you come to Polo Lounge a lot?
You're eating a Waldorf salad. Why are you so out of breath, Mark?
Because you got to dig around for the pecans. They don't put the pecans right on top. You have to dig around the lettuce for them.
Well,
Also, I've been up since 4 a.m. doing power cleans. What have you been doing?
Oh, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it seems like
Did they
you're
put
a
any
little
pecans
winning.
in your salad? Can I have extra pecans?
I didn't get the Waldorf. I got
Hey,
the
say Adam
servitor.
Matt on the leave for me.
Okay, Mark. I just hi. I enjoyed your work. I like.
Fear? The Fighter.
The Fighter,
The
yeah.
Fighter's a good movie, yeah.
It's good. You're in great shape, man, for that.
I'm always in great shape because I'm eating pecans.
Because you're digging around.
I'm digging around the South for pecans, man.
Yeah.
Boogie
Sounds like
Nights.
you're
I
out
love
of- yeah,
Boogie
Boogie Nights. I love Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights, great movie. They used my real penis for that movie.
Oh, really? Jeez, I didn't know they could do. How do you get those pecans out there? You use that penis?
What's that?
No, nothing. I don't want to. Invincible.
Great
Another
movie.
Three Kings.
The Departed.
Yeah, Three
Yeah,
Kings.
Invincible was the base. I beat out Tony Danza for that movie.
You did?
Oh.
Yeah, we were in the same audition room. He came in. I basically the lines that I had to read were, I'm just a struggling guy from Philadelphia trying to be a football player. And Tony Danza said, "Hey, you guys remember when so there was this. So all right, first of all, raise your hand if you ever had a wet dream about Judith Light." And they kicked him out of the audition.
Wow.
Because he didn't say the lines.
Mark, you do a killer Tony Danza.
I do a lot of fun voices. I do a Nick Cage one. Here's Nick Cage. Ready? Here's Nick Cage stubbing his toe in the dishwasher. Oh. I do all sorts of voices.
Wow, I didn't know you had that. I mean, obviously you're a great actor. You got range.
Wait,
but-
I'm not done. Here's Nick Cage. Find out that he overdrew his account at the Chase ATM machine on Fairfax. Damn it.
Yeah, that's so spot on.
Here's one more. Here's Nick
All right.
Cage. Find out that he got replaced on the Adam Carolla show by Santa Claus. You gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
Did not. Wow, I didn't
It's
see that one
uncanny.
coming. Anyway, Mark, hey, good luck with the pecans.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you,
Say Adam
man.
Matt finally its mother for me.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were friends, but it was cool.
That was
He
nice.
He was like
Was it just
being
like that?
friendly, like being cool.
Yeah.
and
See,
then,
your white guy thing. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
Maybe
people
it's
like you,
true.
dude.
Well, then I ran into Byron Allen, comedian,
Well, he's a white guy.
and for all intents and purposes, yeah. But the point is I get why people go there. There's like celebrities
Yeah.
hanging around having lunch
Yeah.
at noon on a Wednesday.
Is it the top celeb eatery place? Like if you like seen to
Probably
be
the
seen?
Ivy.
The Ivy might be passe at this point.
I went there once and ran into Wahlberg and Byron Allen.
That's the place.
Yes, dude.
I feel like hotels is kind of the sneaky place. If you're from out of town,
Totally.
you want to see celebs, like
Yes.
hotel, like outdoor patio restaurant.
Yeah.
I see many celebrities at the Peninsula
Oh, yeah.
rooftop. They're just always hanging out.
I took my mom and George, my stepdad, to the Chateau Maman. And we had lunch. We got in the elevator to go back up to the main level, and Sting was in the elevator. Very tiny
Wow.
little man. And we looked down, and my mom just can't hold back. She sees a celebrity, she's going to speak up.
Right.
So we're in the elevator. It's a very tiny elevator, and she just looks over and doesn't even like say something first. She just does this, like she looks at me and goes, "Dang," but very loud. Like I'm doing
Right.
the quiet story version. She was like, "Sting,"
Right.
and he just goes, "Hello." Again, I don't do voices, but he does. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
You
and
do
and
voices.
my mom just looks at him and just goes, "Thank you for your music."
Oh, that's sweet.
Like
Very
the most
ABBA.
mom thing you could say, and then he just took a sigh, and then and then George was like, he's like, "So you still on tour? You making music?" And then I immediately just go, "Sorry about my stepdad," and he's like, "No, it's fine, man." And then he said he was going on tour and he was just exhausted. He's like, "But I can't stop." He's like, "I just love it so much, I can't stop." And then my mom was like, "Well, if you ever need a comedian,"
Oh no!
and then George goes, "Bitch, shut your mouth." And I was like, "Wow, this is the first time I've heard George curse in an elevator."
Wow.
Specifically.
I met George, obviously.
Yeah, he loves you.
The Bay Area. Well, we're up in Laguna Seca.
Yep.
All right, one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, we have another celebrity that has been catapulted into space, and he's back. Michael Strahan did it. Oh, wow. He went up, he went down. The Good Morning America co-host was one of 6 crew members who took a flight on
If he
Bezos' Blue
sent
Origin.
Jussie Smollett like some condolences or hey brother, or, I'm always
From
here
space.
for you
Yeah.
if you need anything. If there's anything of Michael Strahan, look for it. Doing anything with Smollett, I'm going to fucking flip my lid. That guy's a NFL great. Should not know who this guy is.
and
Thank
had
you.
a great part in Magic Mike 2. Not that you guys would know.
Yes.
Did you know that?
No.
Strahan did?
Yes.
Good for
This
him.
is a
Oh,
test,
my
Adam.
God.
This is a test.
It was fantastic.
I like Strahan because his story is he grew up on an Air Force base in Germany or something. I think it's a military brat or something. But he was a fat kid, and they just called him fat. And then his dad called him fat. Like everyone called him fat. And he's like, I got tired of being called fat, so I started hitting the weights.
Wow.
And then he's in the Pro Bowl.
Wow.
We wouldn't have a Michael Strahan today
Wow.
because we'd go, you go, boy, or I don't want to body shame or any of that
Good
stuff.
luck. Yeah, you're husky.
He was motivated heavily to lose weight
for him.
because he was a fat kid.
Yeah.
Do you think he always the little gap in his teeth has become kind of his staple?
Absolutely.
Right? Do you think how many people? I'm always curious. I those types of things I love on people right out of the gate, like a weird mole, a fucking that thing. It just makes you who you are. I feel like, but there's got to have been people that along the way, family agents that were like, I got a great dentist in Beverly Hills. They'll tighten that gap,
Yeah.
Well,
and maybe tighten the gap on some of the roles you're booking.
He's his April Fool's joke this year was that he got his teeth fixed.
Oh, I did see that. That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, people kind of flipped out, right?
Yeah. They didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
It's one of the, it's a story. I'm going to add it. Chris, put on my list of things I want to do. Have the cape removed for me on stage in earnest. The things I want to do for I want to, because later on, so it's like Cindy Crawford with her birthmark or
The
mole
mole.
or and then it's urban lore. They wanted me to get rid of it, but I'm the super, your trademark super beauty or whatever.
Yeah.
I want something that somebody wanted me to change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wanted me to fix my earlobes. I mean, now look at me. That's the suggestion is this. Yeah, and now.
Right.
Now look at
Yeah.
me. Could you imagine?
All the
Touching
parts.
greatness.
That's right.
Touching perfection.
Yeah, messing with the
Yeah, I think
marble statue of David.
Barbara Streisand has it with the schnoz.
Yep.
It's like with the siren song that
Yep.
in my
Get rid of
mouth, the beautiful music. And
Yeah.
could you imagine? And it's like, oh man, what they wanted you to do.
Yeah. Same with
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury in the teeth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, add it to my list. I want one of those.
There was a girl
Stories.
named Bryn Doheny, if memory serves me right. She was 6th grade when I was in the 4th grade, and I remember she had not only just the biggest boobs in school, the biggest boobs I've ever seen in my life. In 6th grade,
Oh, boy.
Bryn Doheny. And as a 4th grader, you're like, wow, this is incredible that I get to go to school for free and see these for free. And then I remember later that year hearing that she's getting a breast reduction. I didn't even know. Dude, my extent of surgeries was like, I don't know, man, wisdom teeth maybe.
A bris.
A bris, yeah. So all of a sudden it just becomes like everyone's like, potatoes are too big, and then you hear that from the teachers, right? And then you get out to recess one day and just all of a sudden like just nothing, and it was like, and I remember one of the teachers made her get up in class and because people were talking about it so much. One of the teachers,
How old was she?
sixth grade,
Like
and we were in
12?
4th grade.
Oh, wow.
And we had like these, assemblies, and student council meetings. And one of the teachers, it was just such a talked about thing that one of the teachers thought they were doing her a service by like, just kind of, you speak up and so people don't have to keep like talking
Oh
and
my
guessing.
God.
And made her get up and announce that she had a breast reduction.
Oh, man.
That would not
Jesus.
fly.
Oh,
That's
weird,
very
right?
dramatic.
Ooh, Chris, write it down. Cock reduction. I'm not doing it, but I want it out there.
Yeah.
And I want to speak about
The
it
whispers.
in front of children.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know how I'm on several Facebook groups?
Mm-hmm.
2 of them are breast reduction surgery groups because I just kind of want to know what the vibe is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been asked by a certain person in my home not to do that. But, this is it's a lot
It's
of
a
weight.
lot, yeah.
sounds very mature for a 6-year-old.
So if I'm gone for like an extra 2 days, maybe it's because I'm having my drains taken out. I don't know.
2 days, huh? That's
I
it?
want.
You
hold
have
on.
to recover.
No, I like that. The weight,
said do the
my
news?
boom, my rack's so
Yeah,
big. I
yeah.
want to do that with my brain. Oh, my neck.
Yeah.
Jesus
Or
Christ.
they hold up my head.
Holding around this giant brain everywhere. Is there brain reductions? I'd like to get down to like 170 IQ, let's say.
Do we know? Is there a list of people who've gotten actual wiener reductions? Like, is there like that info's got to be out
not
there?
Shaq.
Not Shaq, too.
Possibly.
But you know what I'm saying? Is there like has anyone made it famous?
No, I don't know that they have that.
That info's probably not public, right?
Penis reduction or penis reduction surgery refers to an efforts or an assortment of techniques intended to decrease girth and length.
Assortment of techniques.
Both, yeah.
Especially when erect. So
We
it wouldn't
offer
be
an
in here if they
assortment
don't
of
do
techniques.
it. Yeah.
Would you rather
I know
have too
how
much
to
girth
do-
or too much length?
I know how to shrink
this is for the
that-
group.
You know how you shrink that penis right now? You just, it's a therapy thing. You get Adam Ray's mom to talk to you in an elevator. And that penis just starts. It's a 42% reduction with just a quick, absolutely 3 floors.
You know,
I was just making small talk.
This is
Small talk. That's what we'll call the therapy. Adam Ray's mom stands in an elevator. It doesn't have to be an actual elevator.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Sting,
I'm not
have you
a
seen
weirdo.
any good movies lately?
We put it in a clinical situation. The doors close, like when you see the beginning of the Bob Newhart show or something. It's not a sound stage.
Right.
You know what I haven't had in a while? Lunchables. Hey, where'd your boner go?
it's called macrophallism and can be one of the side effects of sickle cell.
Wow.
So did we all? Okay,
I bet
there
that
we
dude
go.
knows Jesse.
There we go.
Wow.
good Lord.
All right, let's bring it home. But
Gladly.
look, you know, we nobody wants to go under the knife. No. We're all looking for non-surgical treatments for everything, and for this
is good.
I say Adam Ray's mom in an elevator could really be therapy.
Yeah.
What would you rather have? A brunch with Mary Steenburgen or a first-class flight to anywhere in the world of your choice?
That's
all you need.
Part of the therapy.
Hey, where's the sound effect?
Brian's working on
Sorry.
something else.
Hey, where'd your boner go?
All right.
Let's bring it home. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
I blow dudes at truck stops.
Right.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right. Last but not least, there's LifeLock. The holiday season of giving is also the holiday season of taking by cyber criminals. Stay safe while you're holiday shopping. Only visit secure sites, use a VPN, and create strong passwords. It's important to understand how cybercrime and identity theft are affecting our lives. Every day we put our info at risk on the internet. In an instant, cyber criminals could harm your finances and your credit. Good thing, there's LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats like your social security number for sale on the dark web. If they detect your information has potentially been compromised, they'll send you an alert. It's LifeLock, right, Dawson?
No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but you can keep what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year with promo code ADAM. Call 1-800-LifeLock or head to lifelock.com and use promo code ADAM for 25% off.
Can I say this real quick because it's timely? I was at the Peninsula years ago for mother-in-law's birthday brunch. We're having brunch, and
With Mary Steenburgen?
famous person sits behind her, and I'm like, I'm going to pretend like I'm taking a picture of you and your husband
Good
and
move.
Tessa, who's a baby, and just hang out tight. The person in the back, I don't know if you can zoom in or not. Stevie Wonder. Why was I sneaking the picture?
That's a good point.
Stevie!
And you caught him mid-secret listen.
Yeah, he looks very
Yeah,
serious.
he's listening, too.
I mean, that's a great shot. What do you think the guy's saying on the right?
Someone's taking your picture. Some bald asshole taking your picture.
By the way, why all your guys' stories
it's Matt
start
McGrath.
with I was on the roof deck of the Peninsula, and mine are I was at the Kookaroos in Glendale. What? Why? What kind of life is everyone leading here that involves all these wonderful outings?
Here's the secret. That's
God, I
not.
miss Kookaroo.
It's not like it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's not out of reach. It's
I
just
know.
a little pricey.
I know my celeb stories are like, I saw Danny Bonaducci at Jumbo's Clown Room.
All right.
Performing.
You can go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows if you'd like, and you can see us in Portland at Helium Comedy Club December 22nd, 23rd. Couple shows for today's show, and let's see, and Brea Improv. Couple tickets. For the TJ Miller show, and go to AdamCarolla.com for everything else you need. And support our good friend Adam Ray. You can check out the podcast about last night and the website AdamRayComedy.com for
Just
all
had
the
Sandra
live
Bullock
shows.
on.
Just had
Nice.
Sandra Bullock on and coming up doing shows in Phoenix December 22nd, 23rd. So until next time, Adam Carolla for Adam Ray and Jason Gannon and Gina Grand Bryan saying mahalo.
How do we feel about hats in restaurants? Because I've been asked many times to leave or take the hat off.
Wow. See, that's what Polo Lounge
a baseball
would do.
hat. But
Not
it's
like a fedora.
No, it was a yarmulke. It was at a,
Oh, well,
that's
it was
a
at a
hate
Proud
crime.
Boys diner. And
Right.
yeah.